In this video, I'm going to share with you the strongest indicator that I use currently. And this alone would have kept you out of the 2008 financial recession, as well as the 2000 dot-com bubble. On top of that, this indicator alone on the S&P 500 over the past 32 years would have given you a 790% return with an average win of 24% and an average loss of 3.88%. That means that whenever you are taking a trade, you are getting a risk versus reward ratio of 6 to 1, meaning when you win, you're getting paid 6 times the amount than when you lose. And the best part about this is it is one simple indicator that is completely free. Now, before we get into the video, if you want to get access to this indicator and a course showing you exactly how to set it up, the link to that course will be in the description. It is part of step 1 of our free trading masterclass series, Mastering the BX Trender. Now, the first thing that we have to do once this BX Trender is on our chart is go out to a monthly time frame. Now, this is not even meant for people who are just traders or technical analysts who are watching charts. If you're a long-term investor, you should know exactly how to read this indicator because, like I said, this would have kept you out of the market through that multi-year pullback during 2022 to 2023. This would have kept you out of the market during the '08 financial crisis. And this would have kept you out of the market during the 2000 to 2002 dot-com bubble. So this indicator alone is not just meant for people who are looking to be traders, but this will help you from a long-term investing perspective. Now, the indicator that we are talking about is the BX Trender, which is the indicator at the bottom of your screen. Essentially, this indicator right here shows buying and selling pressure. Now, this is very important because what dictates the market either going up or down is honestly not fundamentals. It's not EPS. It's not the PE ratio. It is simply if institutions are buying or institutions are selling. And we only want to be trading in a market where institutions are buying. Hence, when this indicator here is flipping from red to green. When the BX Trender is green, this is an indication that buyers are stepping into the market. Now, if we look at raw data here, you can see that over the past 32 years, just buying the S&P 500, we would have made a 791% return. Now, I want you to understand that we would have made a nearly 800% return, and just buying and holding would have made a 1300% return compounded. But I want you to understand this and think through this not just from a pure numbers standpoint, but from a psychological standpoint. That 1300% buy and hold return is if you would not have sold one single share of the S&P 500. That is if you would have held through every single recession, every single market crash over the past 32 years, which I can promise you that might sound like you can do that in theory, but it's not actually easy to do that. The other thing is that having a simple system like this, where we buy simply when the BX is green and you sell simply when the BX is red, means that you never not know what to do. You're never laying there thinking to yourself, what's going to happen to the economy? What's going to happen with tariffs? What's going to happen in general? Should I be buying? Should I be selling? You know at all times exactly when to be in the market, exactly when to be sitting out of the market. And for me, I would rather have a little bit smaller returns, but that peace of mind of never having to worry. Now, of course, buying and selling when the BX Trender is green is not a 100% certainty that the market's going to run. You can see that we would have only had a 57% win rate, which is fine. I mean, if we look at my returns over the past 4 years, I only have a 61% win rate. The goal as an investor or a trader is not to win each and every single time you put money on the table. The goal is to have outsized return for the small risk that you are putting out there. And that's exactly what this strategy does. You can see that our max drawdown, so the worst our portfolio would have been from high to low, is only 21%. Not bad at all. Now, this is where the math trumps all of the noise. Our average winning trade or winning investment is 24.54%. Very, very high. Our average loss is only 3.88%. So very, very low relative to our average win, which gives us, like we said in the beginning, a risk versus reward ratio of 6.3 to 1. So even though we're only winning 57% of the time, imagine if you sat down at a blackjack table where you had a 57% chance to win, but every time you won the hand of blackjack, you made $2,400. And every time you lost $388. I would sit there and play that game until they threw me out of the casino. Now, the average length is 10.4 candles. Remember, we're looking at monthly candles. So that means the average length of a trade here is 10 and a half months. So this is not something that you're buying and selling throughout the week. You are holding this for normally 1 year. And if we take a look at price action, you will see that this would have done very well. You would have bought the dip in the summer of 2020. You would have made a 37% return here, exited the market for about 14 to 15 months during that pullback in 2022, re-entered again in May of 2023, had a massive 34% move to the upside, and now you would have re-entered the market once again because the BX trender is green. Now, the most important thing here, of course, we want to see these massive rallies. We would have had a 32% run here, followed by a 43% run. But more importantly, what we want to look at are these worst case scenarios because we'll make money in a bullish market, right? We can obviously see that. But where the power comes in my opinion, is seeing what would have happened to us during the worst case scenario, during the '08 financial crisis, during the dot-com bubble. And you can see that during the 2008 financial crisis, we would have made a 10% profit and we would have only had a 3.3% pullback, while the rest of the world was dealing with a 56% sell-off in not just their portfolio, but the SP 500. You would have been sitting back, sipping a mojito, waiting for the bottom while the rest of the world was burning. You would have been able to get out at nearly the top in 2007. From there, buying the dip at a massive discount and riding the market for multiple years to come for a 32% run and then a 43% run. So while the world was freaking out, right? Go back to the psychology of what we're talking about here. While the world was burning, you were sitting back and waiting for your time to strike. Same exact situation here in the 2000 market tech bubble. You would have ran and traded that market bubble all the way up. You would have made a massive 36%, 35%, 7% run. When we hit the top, you would have lost about 7%, which is not the end of the world. But while the market pulled back nearly 46% again, you would have been out through May of 2000 all the way to March of 2002. Now, things aren't going to be perfect. We would have tried to time the bottom here and lost 6.5%, but I would rather lose 6.5% than lose 48%. Sometimes when you are trading and investing, and really this is like people don't want to believe that it's this simple, it's just simply making sure that you are buying when institutions are buying and that you are sitting out during these massive periods where there are no buyers in the market. So if you want to get access to this indicator and you want to start implementing this within your trading or your long-term investing, go ahead and check out our free course series down in the description. It's completely free. There's no credit card, no catch, no BS, straight to the point, and it will be the first step in our 12-step series.